Sharpologist.com.
Hi, Mantic59 here at the 2018 Maggard meetup in Michigan with another video YouTuber, Michael Freedberg.
Hello, Mark. Nice to be here with you.
Good to be here. Good to finally meet you after all this time.
I've been looking forward to it for quite a bit. So.
Good. Michael, just for the purpose of background, give me a little information about yourself, what you do for a living, and how you got started doing wet shaving videos, and how did you manage to keep going in this crazy niche?
Well, I'm an IT professional, so I work with computers. I manage computers for a very large multinational company. I manage our desktop environment. How I got into wet shaving is kind of a bit of a twisted story. I had read an article in Wired about the last razor you would ever need to buy, which was a straight razor. And it had some appeal because I was really getting tired of the money I was spending on cartridges, which I'm sure is true for many people. And my colleague at the time, which is after Christmas break, he mentioned that he had purchased a razor because he was tired of wasting money on cartridges. So we were sort of comparing notes. He had bought a Mercure 23C. That sounds interesting. I guess I'll go ahead and give that a try because I really want to try something different. And it just sort of took off from there. And a friend of mine said, well, if you're enjoying this, I have some soaps to send you. And of course, well, why not try those? I joined a Facebook group called The Big Shave, where I'm still a member of that group. And there were people there that were posting very early shave videos. There's people like Danny van Rooyen, who people may or may not know. He's a guy from the Netherlands who was doing shave videos. And there was quite a few people on there that were doing them. And I did one as a lark. I thought if people were doing it, might as well try it. The people were asking for things like, well, how do you face lather? Show us how you do it. And that's really how that started. It was kind of a bit of a joke, but it was fun to do, and it just became more and more fun. And then after a while I realized people are really enjoying these, and the uptake seems to be pretty good. It also feels like something helpful because the other side of it was people were asking the same questions again and again, and typing up a response to those is tedious. And if you go through sort of a copy paste, you just replying the same thing again and again, well, it doesn't come across as sincere. It kind of falls flat a little bit. So I decided to start doing more sort of in-depth reviews, but also some tutorials, and just showing people some ways to shave, ways to lather. And thanks to your videos, it's an easy thing to recognize. People know and sort of understand. Hey, these short tutorials, they really can be quite helpful.
Great. And when did it start? When did you do your first video?
I think it's been 5 years ago. It seems like 100 years ago, but it really does. It seems like 100 years ago. I think it's only been 5. My overall count for videos actually isn't that high because I wasn't doing them at a regular basis. I would really only do them when I would buy a new product. And in the early days, I know this is going to sound implausible to many people watching this video, but I used to buy a soap, use that soap until that soap was gone, and then treat myself to the next soap. Well, that, of course, has not lasted. That is no longer the case. But so those videos would come very intermittently. So in the early days, it was only maybe every couple months because I would have bought something new or something would have just come on the market that I really wanted. And in those cases, I would do a review for that. Now I do a Sunday review.
And which video is the most popular, the most views?
At this point, it's the how to lather video. That seems to, for some reason, that is a top hit on Google. When people search for how to lather or lather a shaving soap, that seems to be kind of top of the list. And so doesn't have a tremendous number of views, but it is by far the most watched video of mine.
Is there a favorite of your own that you think to yourself, I really like how I did that video?
There are a few. There's one which a colleague of mine gave me a 10-cent razor. It's a pack of razors from the dollar store, where it's 10 razors for $1. And he said, I don't think you'll shave with this. And I said, watch me. That one is a personal favorite because it seemed to go okay, but then at the end, I was explaining to people, well, I have a bit of soreness and redness here and here and here and here and everywhere. This is a terrible razor. And for some reason, that gets quite a number of views as well. Yeah, one of my personal favorites actually is a discussion about the value of shaving products, where I was comparing Arco against the first Taylor Road Bond Street that I purchased, and just trying to lay out for people and have a personal view on the things that are of value to you as a wet shaver. When you're focused on product quality or packaging or maybe brand names, you really can easily get fooled into buying something that in fact is not that great a product for you. And if you ignore or neglect certain products because you think they're underpriced or they're just, the packaging is very weak. The Arco stick is packaged in wrapping paper. I mean, there's nothing really to it. But as a soap, it was much better for me than the Tobbs hard soap that I had. So expensive, high cost, very low value, low cost, high value, and just try to explain. Don't overlook these products.
Of course, the Arco soap is not exactly known for its scent profile, is it?
Not known for its scent. So I explained that as well, that there are some trade-offs there, that sometimes it's a very high value product, but you have to live with the fact that it has a strong citronella smell, it is maybe a little drying, but it's a very good performer. And if you like those things, or you can overlook those, in some cases, you're right, overlook those, then you're still really on track there.
Yeah. What do you have for video equipment right now? What are you using? What's your setup?
I used to use a very precariously balanced my phone, which I would put up in the sort of the bathroom, and I had a piece of that sticky blue gum I would put down, so you never quite knew what the angle was going to be. And so some old videos, if you look at them, the angle is off. So I ended up purchasing a GoPro, and I used that with a very small external mic.
Oh, okay, all right. And what do you use for lighting? Because that's always been my weak point, my Achilles heel is I have never, because the closer you have to get so close or using the mirror, the lighting in a bathroom can be a real challenge. What do you use?
Well, I use the bathroom lighting, so
okay. Just the basic bathroom light.
The basic bathroom lighting, because we have an overhead light and lights over the mirror, and I do film just in my bathroom. I've had a couple questions which I think are kind of a joke. It looks set-like. I can assure you it is my actual bathroom. That's really where I'm filming. I don't have external lights. I do benefit from the fact that in some parts of the year where we live, there's a lot of sunlight that comes in through the bathroom window, so that really does help. I turn both lights on, and because I'm relatively close to the camera, and the GoPro does okay in that level of light, it seems to turn out okay.
Oh, okay.
I know that Paul Humphreys, for example, has stand-up lights, which if the bathroom was any darker, I would have to do something like that.
Okay. Any particular technical issue that has given you fits over the years?
The only one was the nervousness that the phone was going to slip and fall into the sink, because I'm one of the people that shaves with a bowl full of water. I don't just sort of rinse and go. And it's always been one of those moments of trepidation when you realize, I hope that stays where I put it. Because that's why I used that blue gummy to try to hold it up. And I said at a certain point, I can't bear the emotional anguish of this. I'm going to get something different. I'm going to invest in a GoPro. And it was a great decision. It's very easy to use. It takes great quality video. It breaks it into segments which are very easy to put together. It's completely seamless in the production. Yeah, it was a great choice.
What do you use for an editor?
I use a Windows application, which I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but it's in the scheme of things relatively simple to use, and I do have a template created. So importing those videos, the production of it is mechanically quite simple. I have it ready to go. There's the intro, there's the outro music. I basically just pull in the video. I do some minor editing for the intro slide, and adding a snapshot at the end of the products. And then I just edit out the beginning and the end, which is always usually a bit of sort of kerfuffle setting things up at the beginning. And then I just let it export and go.
Great. Out of the last, I think you said 5 years you've been doing this, how do you think the wet shaving niche has changed?
Well, it was really a niche at the beginning. There were only a few artisan soaps. In fact, talking to an artisan here about the early days of who was on the market and what you could buy, it was really quite limited in a lot of ways. If you look at the market today, it just seems overly packed with people. And so you have a tremendous number of choices. You have really incredible soaps. You have products across the board that really are, you could not have imagined them being this good 5 years ago. I don't think we could have honestly predicted it would be quite this good in terms of choice or selection or just fundamental quality. But it does make you wonder about how many more people could come onto the market. In that case, that's always nervous. I see new people start, and I always wonder how long is that going to last, because that just seems like a bit of a tough road ahead.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm sorry, but overall, you could not have picked a better time to start being a wet shaver, and that's what I always tell people. If you are coming from a cartridge environment where you have one cartridge to choose from, you're using one shave soap or one shave gel or foam, and that's all you are locked into a one-size-fits-all, and for most people that size doesn't really fit at all, I believe. And so the fact that you have this much choice, where you can really tailor the products to the way that you need to shave, I think is absolutely fantastic. And that's really what I try to explain to people, is that this may seem like more expensive or maybe it takes more time, but you have something which is right for you, as opposed to making do with something that really isn't right for anybody.
Do you have any favorite products you really particularly enjoy?
I'm very hesitant to go down that road for one reason only, that those favorites change all the time. And that's in part because these products tend to cycle through and they're sort of overstepping each other a little bit. There's always a small increase. I do like a good tallow-based soap. I will certainly say tallow and lanolin for me, I have a bit of soft spot in my heart for that. I have found out that I'm not a menthol head. So those kind of products, those tend to fall to the side for me. I am, the only thing I can honestly say I have a true favorite is on the brushes. I am a boar brush person.
Really?
If I'm made to choose, and people ask me all the time, what would you choose and why, I always say boar. For some reason, there's something about a high quality boar brush. I like the face feel, I like the way that it breaks in. I just think it's a much more robust all-around brush. I'm sorry, but my heart goes with the boar.
So the new generation of synthetics just aren't that interesting to you?
They work very well, but there's nothing that makes my heart sing when I use them. So I recognize that they are very easy to use. The quality is generally very consistent. They don't shed, they don't smell. There's no break-in. They're usable right out of the box. They're great for travel, but they don't really seem to have much of a soul or heart to them. Whereas every boar that I've had, it's been a little bit different. The break-in has been different. It's bloomed in a different way. Yeah. The boar, 100% for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have you noticed any problems or any differences in the way you use YouTube? Are you still planning to use YouTube as videos? Or are you going to move to a different platform? Or how's that kind of working out lately?
The YouTube as a channel has proven to be very easy for me to manage in a way, because I do one weekly review. If people like and enjoy those videos, that's great. It's a free platform. I do not monetize my channel. I don't ask for likes or subscribes. I basically just let the content stand on its own. To me, that just feels like the easiest and sort of the best thing to do, because for me, it's entirely a labor of love. It's a hobby, right? So it's easy just to let the content stand on its own. I'm relatively active on social media, but again, I'm not asking for people to subscribe to the channel or go through likes. There's no real money in it for me. So YouTube is a very simple, easy platform, and the people don't realize that you actually get quite a bit of data out of YouTube about where people are watching from and how long they watch and whether those videos are really sort of reaching the audience that you expect. So for me, I don't really know that there'd be much of a different place to go.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything else that sort of jumps out and says, yeah, you need to ditch YouTube and move over to that. So I think I'm going to stay.
Okay, good. So what's next for you?
Well, I get a lot of questions about things like, can you do a shaved end review, or can you show us all the products you have? And I normally focus on a once-a-week review, but there's clearly some interest in additional content sort of about the things that I have. So I may start doing some of those, but I think the next thing I'll do is try to roll back to a review of things that I've used in the past before I started these weekly reviews. So what I do now is I will use the product for a full week, and then I'll do the review of it. I used to do these first impressions, and if I look back at those, they were often wrong. Either the scent in fact isn't as good as I thought, or the performance isn't quite what I expected, or it's easier to use than I first found in that first try. So I'm going to roll back to some of the original products that I have used what seems like 100 years ago, but in fact wasn't that long ago, and just maybe do a cycle of things I haven't tried in a long time. Let's see what they're like today, given the fact that they are now operating in an environment where you have this enormous explosion of these artisan products.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, thank you for sitting down with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the Maggard's meetup, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Absolutely. It's been fantastic so far. It's been great to meet you, Mark.
Good to meet you, too. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Hi, my name is Mark, otherwise known as Mantic59, and my channel is all about what your father didn't teach you about shaving.